guys, it's Janixa and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something different and new on my channel. I'm calling this the Year in Review series or whatever you want to call it, and we're gonna start out with OPI. OPI typically only releases 4 collections a year, which are the seasonal collections: spring, summer, fall, and winter/holiday. And all these collections have already been released, so I think it's safe for us to go ahead and do a review of all the OPI collections for the year 2022. For spring 2022, OPI released the OPI and Xbox collection. This collection was kind of a hit or miss for a lot of people. For me, it was a good collection, but for others, they just were not feeling it. And I've had more time to reflect on it the whole year. So I kind of understand now more what people were a little annoyed about. The fact that they did this collaboration with Xbox and then none of the colors really captured an Xbox machine, the actual Xbox. We all know Xbox is pretty famous for that green color that they have. And yes, there were greens in this collection, but none of them matched the green in Xbox's logo. So that was a bummer for a lot of people. And then, it just felt to a lot of people like OPI just slapped Xbox on this collection and went with whatever they wanted to produce, which I can see it. Before I was kind of, blinded by the pretty colors, but now after having more time to see it and think about it, I can definitely see it. They could have put any title on that collection. That could have been anything. That could have been PlayStation. That could have been, Easter theme. That could have been anything. So I do understand why people were frustrated. And yeah, I think I agree now. While I still liked the collection, I don't think it was a bad collection at all. I really enjoyed the colors, and that says a lot coming from somebody who doesn't like pastel colors. I feel like maybe they chose the wrong season to do an Xbox collaboration. Xboxes are usually, black, green. I know that there's some white ones and stuff, but I feel like maybe a fall collaboration with Xbox would have made a little bit more sense, because then they could have done darker colors and we could have gotten that darker Xbox green. They could have done a black. They could have just done maybe a little bit more had the collection been a fall collection. Right now, I'm actually thinking they could have done a really pretty black with some green glitter or flakes or something like that. Glitter probably would be the best, that matched the Xbox logo. So that black and that green, and then a nice, Xbox green, and then a black. I don't know, but they could have done more with it had it been a fall collection, I think, in my opinion. Ooh, now I'm really craving that black and green glitter from OPI. That would have been so nice. So yeah, maybe it's a bummer that they chose to do this Xbox collaboration for the spring, and that's probably what messed it up for them a little bit. Even though, again, it was still a really nice collection. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with the general consensus in that it doesn't really match Xbox at all. Next up, for summer 2022, they did the Power of Hue collection. For this collection, there was also a lot of rumblings. People just didn't really like a lot of these shimmers. Personally, I loved this collection. Why? Because it was an OPI collection that had hardly 0 creams. I think there was maybe 1 cream. Can't remember off the top of my head. Normally with OPI, we get a ton of creams. A lot of times we get a ton of red creams, even though they have made probably 3,000 in their 40 years already. So I was really happy to see a collection that was pretty much dominated by shimmers. Yes, so a lot of these needed 3 coats. I didn't have that issue though, because when I swatched them, my nails were really, really short. So I think that played a part in, my review, because I did see with others, they just were having a little bit of a harder time with them and they had longer nails than I did. So maybe that played a big part in everybody's opinion about this collection, but overall, I still really enjoyed it. I mean, the orange one, the mango something, I forgot what it's called. That one is stunning. One of my favorite colors out of that collection. I was so happy to see OPI do something other than creams. And yeah, I really enjoyed that collection. Next up, they did the fall 2022 collection, and this one was called Fall Wonders. I loved this collection too. You guys, I think I loved almost every collection that OPI released this year. If I have to choose a least favorite, you know what? I'll leave that to the end. Towards the end, I will tell you my favorite OPI collection of the year and then my least favorite. But anyway, this fall collection is just so beautiful, you guys. The mustard, that's another thing. What is wrong? Is there something wrong with me? I feel like a few people had an issue with the mustard color. I know Kelly Marissa did, and then I know Timberland from Pampered Polishes did, but I didn't. I didn't have an issue with the yellow. I thought it was fine. I mean, I always go into, yellows with an open mind because I know that I might need 3 coats for them. But I was okay with this one. I'm looking at my swatch right now and I don't see any streaks on my swatch, and I only did 2 coats. So I don't know what was going on. I know we all like to say, oh, maybe some people got a bad batch, and like, but how often does that really happen? How often does a bad batch really happen? I don't know. I just feel like we had different experiences with Ochre to the Moon, I believe it's called. I liked it. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was beautiful. I was so happy to see these earthy tones in this fall collection. It's just such a beautiful collection. It is inspired by, the earth, the marvels of the earth, clay, sand, deserty kind of stuff. And I think that they nailed it. This collection is just stunning. No pinks, thankfully. We do have 2 reds though, even though one of them is more orange leaning, but I'm okay with that. It goes with the entire collection. I loved the moody vibe of this collection. It was one of my favorites from this year for sure. And the very last collection of the year for OPI is the winter/holiday collection. This one is called Jewel Be Bold, and it consists of 15 pieces. So we get like a regular 12, and then they add on 3, usually they're glitter polishes, and yeah, that's definitely what we got this year, and I really enjoyed this collection too. If you guys saw my review of this collection, I will try to link all 4 reviews in the card somewhere so that you can access them easily. You guys, if you saw my review of this collection, you know that I loved it. It was a really beautiful collection. We have some gorgeous glitters here. Yes, it's also pink heavy. There's like 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, about 4 pink polishes in this collection. But apparently pink is becoming a Christmassy color, I guess. I don't know. For me, it's not. I lean towards the regular green and red for the Christmas time, but maybe OPI is just trying to do something a little bit different. Once again, we got a collection that was packed with all kinds of different finishes. There was a lot of shimmers going on here, only 1 cream. It just makes me happy to see these types of collections. Normally with OPI and with a lot of other mainstream brands, we get nothing but creams, and it can get a little bit boring, We want some glitter, we want some shimmer, we want just some different finishes, something more fun than just creams. And I was so happy when I saw this collection, so happy to see that there was so many shimmers, there was glitters. It's just perfect for the holidays. I'm really hoping that for next year's holiday collection, we see more polishes in the finish of Tealing Festive. That gorgeous teal metallic, that was absolutely amazing. A 1 coater. I can't get over that color. It was really, really beautiful. I'm hoping OPI gives us more. I would love to see one of those in every color possible. It was just so beautiful. The glitters in this collection were amazing. I'm looking at my swatches right now and they were just, oh, they were gorgeous. I really, really loved them. Overall, I think that OPI had a really good year. They released a lot of different finishes. We didn't get a bunch of 12-piece collections full of nothing but creams, and that makes me happy. I know that creams are very, very popular, but we all know that OPI has a ton of creams, so it's really nice to see them diving into other finishes a little bit more. I know that this isn't going to last forever. We are going to get back to the collections that have nothing but creams, and the Xbox collection was mainly creams, and that's fine. But I was really happy to see other finishes throughout most of these collections. Right, it's time to pick my favorite collection out of the year, and this one is hard. Now, I loved a lot of the polishes in each of these collections, so it's kind of hard because, for example, for the holiday collection, I was obsessed with a lot of the polishes, but I have to look at the collection as a whole, and I feel like the one that really stood out to me this year was the Power of Hue collection for summer 2022. I know that's not going to be a popular pick, but I really enjoyed that collection. It was so bright, such a happy collection, so many shimmers. It just made me happy. Like, I was happy to swatch all of them. I think it was pretty close between the summer collection and the winter/holiday collection because I did love both of them, but there was more polishes in the winter collection that I wasn't a huge fan of than there was in the summer collection, so that's why the summer collection wins my favorite OPI collection of 2022. And now for my least favorite OPI collection of 2022, I think you guys can guess this one already. It's gonna go to the Xbox collection for spring 2022. I still enjoyed the collection, but after looking at summer, fall, and winter, spring just is on the bottom for me. It was the least exciting collection for me. I think the collaboration was the most exciting part of that collection, but because they didn't quite nail it, I think it just falls on the bottom for me. Plus, I'm not a huge fan of spring collections. Spring is my least favorite season for nail polish. I hate pastels. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't like them. I don't like pastels. They're just not my favorite. They're not my favorite. I like darker colors or nice bright colors like summer colors, neons, and that's what I enjoy. But pastels just are not my thing. If I'm going to wear a pastel-y type of color, I'm gonna need something else in it, like flakes or some type of glitter. Usually flakes. I can think of the 90 Lacquer like robin's egg type of color. That is what I enjoy wearing for the spring, but the typical pastel creams, those aren't my favorite, and this Xbox collection had quite a few of them. So even though I enjoyed the collection overall, when I'm putting it against the other three collections that OPI released this year, that one definitely falls to the bottom for me. Alright guys, there you have it. OPI A Year in Review for the year 2022. I plan on doing this for the other mainstream brands like Zoya, China Glaze, Orly, and Essie. Maybe I'll do it for Sally Hansen. Maybe I'll do it for some indie brands. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens. But I like looking back at all the collections that a brand has released. I started out with OPI because they only do usually for a year, so pretty easy to, look back on. I feel like Essie is probably going to be the hardest one because they release like 12 collections a year instead of just 4, so it might take me a minute to get the Essie video up, but yeah, I like looking back at what OPI released throughout the year and just kind of remembering the polishes that I have in my collection, because I get so many polishes that you tend to forget what you already have. So this also helps me take a look back at, some amazing polishes that were released this year. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Please let me know in the comments down below which was your favorite OPI collection of 2022 and which one was your least favorite. Let's talk about it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!